Evening, everyone. Welcome back on another Wednesday, another match preview day, talking all about the shambles that was Saturday. Obviously, talking about other things going on at the club, the Barton situation, Wales, everything else. Obviously, talking about the Carlisle game this week, which is looking like a 6-pointer. Both teams not on the best of form, but if you are watching it back afterwards, leave your predictions and your thoughts of the game in the comments, and I'll check after. But evening to everyone that's tuning in live. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button as well. Subscribe if you're new. And yeah, get your comments, get everything, get your questions in the comments, and we'll go through everything. As always, we've got Neil on tonight. How are you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, over Saturday.
Yeah. But we'll obviously get into it. Obviously, you was in a different position this week. You was in one of the boxes, so you probably seen it a bit more. Well, it probably looked a lot more worse from where you are. It was bad where I was in the Blackthorn end. But yeah, quickly get into some comments there as well. Robert Brailsford said, "I bought the next 3 games on iFollow." What was I thinking? Oh yeah, that's mad. Yeah, big up Chris as well. He's a Carlisle fan. I'll get his thoughts. It'll be in the comments. Big up to you as well for always supporting. Matt says, I've downloaded the app on Saturday but haven't opened it. Yeah, the code is still available for two more people. If you haven't, you can predict the lineup, even though it's hard because Barton makes about 10 changes every game. But yeah, you can predict lineup, you can check in at stadiums, you can win tickets to games and etc. So yeah, just use the code at the top there. Big up to Juan as well. Thanks for tuning in. Hello guys, up the gas, Argentinian gas. Big up Riley as well. I'm all good, mate. Thanks for tuning in, and big up Adam F as well. Barton out. Yep. Yeah. To be honest, I'm actually gonna make a poll at the end. If you go on the community tab at the end, I'll make a poll and I'll see how many people are Barton in and Barton out. But we'll get into it. Adam also says, "Yo, how you boys get Flynn? I think he could save us." Yeah, that's who I want. But we'll get into everything. Both our managers are under pressure. Yeah, Carlisle not doing well either, and even into BRC Tom. But yeah, Neil, thoughts on the absolute disaster class, which was Saturday against Swindon, losing 3-1 at home.
Oh mate, where do you start with this? It was bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like, from start to finish, when you get to the end of the game, you look at it, and I thought, I still don't know how good Swindon are because we were that bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They looked incredible, but we were terrible. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I was sat there thinking, I ain't seen someone come to the Mem and do this to us for ages. Like, I've seen us get beat, but we just could not get the ball off them. Like, they were incredible. They looked incredible. I'm sure they weren't, but they just looked amazing. It's like we were playing an FA Cup tie, like someone from like the top of the Championship had come to play us. Yeah, it was bad. 2 o'clock. It was the least surprised I've been probably for it. I looked at it and I thought, all right, one change. So Saunders has gone out and Brown's gone in.
Yeah.
So I wasn't too phased with that. I thought, okay, he's sort of looked at what's happened at Walsall and kept it as best he can. I don't know why the reasons, if Saunders was carrying Summer or he just fancied Brown to go in at wing back and play that role instead of Saunders. But again, it's old habits, isn't it? Waited to see what Swindon had.
Mm-hmm.
Even I know we went 1-0 up, but we weren't really in it. Like,
no,
goal was against the run. The goal was against the run of play. Our goal, it was decent. They moved it quick. They got it into Evans. He got on the half turn and slid through. And Anderson's taken it well. It's a good goal. They've taken it well.
Finish.
But if anything, all that didn't change anything for Swindon. It just G'd them up even more. They weren't phased. They weren't panicked. They didn't change anything. They just kept on doing what they're doing. I mean, their ball retention was unreal.
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
We could not get near them. And now that's either down to, obviously, the pennies dropped for them and they're just going to be an incredible side, or It's the fact that we ain't got no legs on our side and we've just been pinged off the park.
Yeah.
And I'm leaning towards probably the latter.
Yeah. I completely agree with that.
We went in at half time, and I'm thinking, how we're 1-0 up here, I'll never know. Because they were getting in behind us, it will. Balls were flashing across the box.
Yeah.
Belly's made some good stops. And I'm thinking, Christ, we've gotten it 1-0 here. If we can nick another one somewhere from a set piece or something by the hour, like we might get away with murder here.
Yeah.
Because I also thought Swindon ain't going to come out and play as well as that second half, surely.
Yeah.
Like I was glad we got to half time. I thought they'll come out and the momentum won't stay like that. Well, we kicked off second half. I don't think we saw the ball again till about the 82nd minute. Like they kept the ball off of us for fun. I mean, we spoke in the preview again about Payne and Gladwin. Well, him in there, I thought they were really good.
Yeah, especially
Reed,
that Payne.
I thought Reed was man of the match. Sat in there.
Yeah.
I mean, they had Gladwin, Payne, and Reed in there. Well, it might as well have been Busquets, Xavi, and Iniesta. It was unreal. I was like, we are getting popped off the park here. Like everything that it was like they were playing FIFA. Mm-hmm. Like when you're at that high vantage point in a box and you're looking down on it, they were moving around us. But granted, like I was saying, it's got to be a mix of us just being dead on our feet with no legs, because they kept the ball once they kept the ball off of us for like just gone the hour, we was chasing shadows and had nothing left in us. Absolutely nothing left in. And they just bided their time, and then they just opened us up when we was knackered, because we was just chasing the ball all game. And when we got it, we could not get out. Like Whelan's in there with Coots.
I mean, honestly, them two. I mean, obviously they've done well in their career, but you could just see the difference. The mid. I said it on my review. I could have gone on about it for ages, talking about the midfield and the fact there's no legs whatsoever. Because, like you said, you can say it was obviously them playing well, but the way they were moving the ball and the way you had Gladwin, Payne, and Reed, I'm surprised that Peterborough got rid of that Reed, because I've always rated him very good midfielder, and then Swindon got him on a free, and that midfield they just literally played about with us. Like you said, second half there was literally no point of us, like you said, it was chasing shadows, and then obviously the more they kept coming forward, and they were just our team was all over the place. There was no one talking, no leadership. And everyone was just, all their players, even their right back. Did you see their right back?
Yeah, Hayden, he played really well.
All second half, he was flying down the right.
But a lot of people will say, oh, you can't play for it at the back in League Two. It don't work. It does. If you get the personnel right and you get your patterns of play right. Swindon played that free at the back with two wide men perfectly and picked us off time and time again, using it properly. We couldn't get out second half. We just could not get out. Like they suffocated us. They pinned us in. And it got to the point where Swindon were letting us get out because no one wanted to play that final ball forward, because when it went forward, they were just getting the ball back. And then they went out the other side to either their fullbacks and they started again. And they just dragged us side to side throughout the game. We were dead on our feet by 60, 70 minutes. And no one wants to play that final ball forward, because if you're the guy who plays that final ball forward, you're the guy who loses the ball, because all you've got up there is Pittman. I mean, he's running around like a pissed uncle at a wedding, isn't he? He's just like, it's not his game. And I can't blame the fella, because it's never been his game.
Yeah,
you can't leave him up there isolated. He won't do nothing for you. So we're on our own 18-yard box. Coots and Whelan are probably 7 yards in front of that. We're in our own half. We can't get the ball off of them, and our out ball is to Pittman, who is basically an ornament. Do you know what I mean? They were welcoming us getting the ball up there, because they just start again.
Yeah,
they just keep coming and starting again. They had no respect for what we had going forward, even after the goal. And why would you? And why would you? But like I said, come full time. If they've got Forest Green next week, haven't they? Mm-hmm. If they've had a scout watching that, he'd go back to obviously their manager and go, I don't know how good they are, because Rovers were that shit. I've got no idea how good Swindon are. Got no idea. Like, if someone come to me and said, what was Swindon like at the back? I've got no idea, mate. I couldn't tell you if they were good or bad. So we didn't lay a glove on them. We did not lay a glove on them. But yeah, that was bad. And you keep going back to what Barton. If you keep going back to what Barton said previously, like after the Hartlepool defeat, when Clark got done, he said, "We've got to find a way to adapt." Now we've lost him. We've got to find a way to adapt because we was none too clever going forward anyway.
Yeah.
Well, we ain't adapted to anything. We haven't done anything to adapt it. We've played square pegs and round holes and hope for the best.
Yeah, it's literally the same thing. Like there's, like you said, we only had one shot on target, which was the goal, and in second half, the only thing I can remember was the header from Luca Hall from the corner, and that's it. We don't we've said this for ages now, pretty much most of the season. We don't look like scoring. We can't defend.
It's not a great combination, is it?
Exactly. It's never gonna be good. We got Swan recent as well. Swan away days. Make sure you go and subscribe to him. Vaughan has got a comment saying there's going to be changes this weekend due to concussion protocol, suspensions, country call-ups, and injuries. I think it's a bit harsh on Barton's choices this weekend. I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I know we've got obviously one call-up, which is Sion Spence. He'll be playing for Wales under 21s, and obviously we've got Alfie Kilgore suspended. By the way, that was no way a yellow card. That I've never seen. He was literally stood there. It hit his shoulder. Like, he didn't even move like that. He was stood there on the line. And how the ref gave that a second yellow, I will never know.
The biggest thing for me that was no one appealed. No one.
No.
Like, it come out of nowhere. Like, you could look at him and he didn't do anything because he was thinking. And then out of nowhere, but no one's even like influenced him. He's just decided, I'm going to give this.
Yeah, I was shocked, honestly, and I watched it back on that because even now I was thinking, yeah, that's never a penalty, and I watched it back, and it's literally just hit his shoulder. He didn't even move like that or anything. But forget that. They should have been. They should have been a loads more up. If it wasn't for Belshaw again, like how? I mean, I know he made a mistake, but that's one mistake he's made the whole season. Apart from that, he was class. It's always going to be hard when Swindon were just coming at us all game pretty much. Matt says in the first half, Swindon didn't have their shooting boots. The first and third goals were unacceptable. I can't comment much on the penalty. Yeah, I mean the amount of crosses they were getting into the box the first half because I can't remember his name, but they had a young kiddie up. Apparently he's only 19. Swindon
both on loan, aren't they?
Yeah,
the 9 and 19 are both on loan, aren't they?
Yeah, but he was built like a brick shithouse as well. And there was like 4 or 5 times where they so easily got him. It was mainly it was half and half down Brownside and Anderson, but yeah, we were very lucky. It was only 3-1. Blue Army TV. This is Carlisle fan as well. Big up to you. Going to be a good bottom of the table scrap. Yeah. Battle for survival game, more like, yeah, by the looks of it. Kian says absolute must win. Well, we've said that loads of times, and have we won many of the games? When I remember I know it's different, but I remember last season I kept saying it in the watch-alongs, must win. Oh yeah, we just lose. It's fine. Ken Williams says we'll not be going till the clown has gone. Yeah, that's fair enough. I know a lot of people. I think there was someone. Is it someone said? Or I seen something. Apparently there's. I seen some stat, or if it was on the news or some news report, but apparently there's, up to 2,000 people that are choosing not to go because of Barton. So, and plus you've got to add into that the poor form we've been on it anyway. That's why we've been getting 6,000. Yeah, I don't know why. It was literally the whole game as well, because obviously you said, and people would see it with their own eyes, where you got Coots, who's 33, Whelan 37, and they, like you said, they're literally centre backs. The way they're literally sat just above the back four. And then, like you said, when you can't really blame it too much on Pittman because that's not his game. I mean, you're just clutching at straws when you've got Pittman up front, waiting for an injury to happen. He's got no pace. His touch is awful. But even then, he didn't have anyone around him. So I really hope something can change. He can change something this weekend, but I'm not putting any money on it. I'll probably be expecting exactly the same forward line. But obviously, we'll get onto that. What's more worse, EFL referees or Premier League referees? Definitely EFL referees, but Prem referees are still bad as well. But yeah, big up to 30 of you in at the moment. Hit the like button if you already haven't, and subscribe if you're new. But yeah, getting into the next stage. Obviously, I talked about it on my video yesterday. What's your thoughts on that article with back in? And I know some people have said, Wells is waiting for after the trial, but is it too late? Or, what's your thoughts on the whole situation where Wells said he's backing him?
I think he's got to, isn't he? If you're in his shoes, he's not going to say anything different. I mean, since he's come in, he's had Garner's come in under the advice of Widrington and Stans. They put it forward to him over a Zoom call when he was out of the country that they didn't think it was working, and he gave him the okay to get him gone. Then Tisdale came in because Stan said, "My mate will sort us out. Don't worry about this." That went to pot. I think this is only Al-Qadi's sole appointment where he's gone and got his own man.
Yeah.
So he's going to give him as much time as he possibly can. One, for his own credibility, because I think everyone knows that this is his appointment, this is his man. The fact that he's handed basically the keys to the club over to Barton and said, "Do it your way, from top to bottom." Recruitment, pattern of play, philosophy, everything. It's all on Barton. And on top of that, the bloke's got an asset to look after at the end of the day. And it's all right, fans going Barton out, get Barton gone, but there needs to be a strategy after that. You sack him, you're still no further forward. You're just a football club without a manager. And then they'll go, the next port of call is, well, why don't you maybe go and get like Alexander or Flynn? Well, Flynn's just left Newport and no one knows why. He's just walked away from a job. So who's to say that he just wants a break from football? There's nothing to say that you're going to get Flynn. Or Flynn's thinking to himself, do you know what? I want to test myself in the division above because I've got this side into playoffs, 2 or 3 seasons on the spin now. Yeah. So there's nothing to say Flynn's a given. And there's nothing to say Flynn's going to look at that squad and go, I don't want to go nowhere near that. Regarding Al-Qadi waiting for Barton, I don't think he'd have taken him on if he didn't get advice from a legal team to say this trial is going to be fine. Don't worry about it. They must have sat down with a legal team, looked at the case and gone, don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. Else he's not stupid enough to do that, surely.
Well, you never know.
Like I said earlier, we was up in the executive boxes on Saturday. There's no panic or concern up there because obviously it's quite communal up there. The corridors and the doors are open. Everyone's mingling in and out. There's no panic or concern whatsoever. People were saying, Carlisle and Rovers managers are under pressure. Barton ain't under pressure from what I see. Not from the board anyway. And as far as what the fans are saying, I don't think the board give a toss what the fans say, to be honest. We're just punters. We'll say what we say, but ultimately he's got an investment to protect, and that's what he's interested in. He's got oodles of money. If a couple of thousand don't turn up, I don't think he's that arsed.
It's just, I just find it crazy though. I just find it crazy. Like, I'm going back to what I said on yesterday's video about changing different philosophies. When he went with Garner, he went with this young project, fair enough, it didn't work, but like you can't just like Rovers have basically gone with that and then thought, F this. We're gonna go with something completely different. But that's what I mean. I don't get what's going on with the board. Why, like you said, it didn't seem to be anything, under
There's no
pressure.
concern up there, mate. There's no concern up there whatsoever.
I just don't get it. Like if you look at on the pitch as a general fan and general fans, right, you can see it's bad. Not just a little bit bad, it's very bad. There's not really I don't think many people can be confident going into any even Carlisle. I'm not confident at all, and they've been on awful form. They've been on worse form than us, and I'm not confident at all. And then you look at his record. Like some people said in the comments of the video yesterday, like they thought it was bad, but they didn't know it was as bad. Like how he's Barton's only got 21 points out of a possible 84, and there's not really anything positive to say. That's the most annoying thing is that he's not even like we'll get onto it in a second. He's not even we're struggling going forward. There's no sort of pace. He's still playing players out of position. Like he's not even getting. I'm hoping sooner rather than later that players like Martinez, who done very well under him last season when he brought him in for like the last 10 games, who probably was one of our best players along with McCormick, even though he was a lone player, and even players like Zane Walker, he's just either loaned them out or because that's what I don't get. I know some people might say, it would be a bit hard to just throw in a few youngsters, but he has to sort of change something, Barton, surely. Like we've said this for like the last month on the preview, either a lineup or throw some different players in, maybe give Westbrook a start or something, because nothing's working at all. Like, I just don't get it. I just don't get why. Obviously, I know, like you said, Flynn might want to take a break or try a different club, like in a higher league. But the reason why I wanted Flynn as well, and obviously, is the fact that he's done well on a small budget. Like we haven't got a small budget. We've probably got the biggest in the division. It may be second. Maybe Salford might have a bigger budget. He plays a lot of, likes to get academy players in the team, like he did. Well, he was the one that promoted Aaron Collins to the first team when he was at Newport, and other young players like Dan Butler, who's gone to Peterborough, and so on. But what positives is there for you to see going, in this team, and is there anything to see that gives you hope that, or can you see anything that Barton can change it around based on?
Immediately, no. But the only thing I'm clinging on to is these don't become bad players overnight. They are good players. When I say they're good players, they're good enough. Okay, yeah. They're not world beaters. They're good enough to do a job. Do I think that squad that he's assembled is going to get us anywhere close to top 7? No, but you've got to go on the fact that when these signings were coming in the summer, most of the fans were rubbing their hands together going, good signing, decent signing, we're building a side here. What I think Barton's done is he's massively underestimated League Two. I just think he's brought these players in and he's gone, we'll have all the ball, we'll be high up the pitch, Pittman will get a load of goals whether he's like half fit or not. Or I just think he's really underestimated the league. Remember when we went down with Clark, and Clark basically galvanised it and said, you've got to accept the division we're in, embrace it, and just accept that you're a National League players now, and you've got to meet this head on. I don't think Barton's done that. I think he's brought in a load of players with big egos of an age, and they thought they'd walk it. Yeah. And eventually, the penny's got to drop, and they've got to go, do you know what? We're making ourselves look absolutely terrible here, and they've got to get themselves out of the rut. And yeah, I think they have. They've left it well too late to get anywhere near that. But on the manager situation, I wouldn't be surprised with the noises that Barton's making. That say we get to the end of the season, we finish, I don't know, 14th. I just think he'll walk. I just think he'll go back up north. He'll take, and then you'll have a squad full of lads from Merseyside who'll go, do you know what? I want to go and all. And it'll be another rebuild, no matter who comes in. I just get the feeling that if we don't hit the ground running at some point, if we don't get this going at some point, and we just peter out into a crappy finish, I just think he'll walk. And he'll take, and all them lads that he's brought in will go, do you know what? I want to go back up north as well. This is too much like hard work for me.
Yeah, it's going to be, because that's the thing as well. Apart from Evans, who's obviously Scouse, he's well, even him, all like Whelan, Coots, obviously Leon Clark. I don't know what's going to happen with him, whether he'll be
He's
back
done.
fit enough. Anyway,
he'll never play again.
Yeah, but yeah, you got Hughes, Junior Brown, Leon Clark, Glenn Whelan, Paul Coots. Finley's on a 2-year, but apart from Finley, all of those players are on a 1-year deal anyway.
This is what I mean. You're going to be on a rebuild anyway, because I just think if he finishes in the middle of nowhere, League Two, he'll just walk in the summer. And even Finley, I just think he might look at it and go, do you know what? I know I've got a year left on my deal, but do you know what I mean? Just pay me up, or just take an offer for me, because I don't want to be down here no more.
Because that's the thing as well. He's the only player, especially midfield, that actually wants to like sort of fight and has got that willingness to drive forward. Like that's the thing. We've got so many midfielders. Like to be fair, Josh Grant, I think's done all right this season. He hasn't been amazing, but he's at least he can go forward a little bit more. But the likes of like Coots and Whelan, do you know what? It really pissed me off on Saturday. The fact that even when in parts there was players like making runs or moving forward, they would just go sideways or backwards. And
I said to you last week after Warsaw, I said to you, if we've got ball retention, if we can keep the ball, Coots would be amazing for us. When we haven't, he'll be a passenger. And he was a passenger for 90 minutes. Yeah. He was a passenger for 90 minutes.
Yeah, it was crazy. Honestly, I knew it, but I didn't think it'd be that bad. Like the midfield. BRC Tom says, ref on the weekend wanted to be Mike Dean so bad. Yeah. As we are playing so deep, there's so much space to be exploited in the front and midfield. Chris says, I could see Flynn at Bristol Rovers. Flynn leaving Newport was coming. I predicted it started the season. Newport had so many opportunities to go up. Yeah. Even into Captain Nat as well. Big up to you, Sheffield Wednesday fan, tuning in. Even into Ash the Pash 89. Even everyone Barton out. Another Barton out. Even into you, Sam Finley is my favourite player. Yeah, he's class. Rodman, Brown, Coots, Whelan, Pittman, all finished. Shouldn't be a. Yeah, there's a lot of players like that. What's that? Your meter was in the way of me Saturday. What, me? Me or Neil? Was you in the box? Or
It's going to be me, is it? Your head's massive.
Is it? Is it that big?
Yeah, it's big as mine, is it?
But yeah, big up to everyone in. 38 of you in. Let's see if we can hit 40 likes. Hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. But yeah, then obviously we were talking about it then a bit. So would you be playing, like, would you chuck in any youngster or anything? Like Martinez when he's back fit, or maybe even Kieran Phillips on the bench, or any of them players that played in the win against Forest Green.
I think you got to Saturday. You've got to do. I mean, he's pretty hard up to pick anything really. Mangan might have to put his boots on anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Andy Mangan,
it's that bad. If you want me to get into what side I play Saturday, I'll name it now. But I think it picks itself really.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it's going to be interesting because I really think. I mean, we'll get into the lineups in a minute, but I think he'll change formation. I don't think he's gonna be. I don't, especially with Connor Taylor concussion. Like he looked out of it, walking right. Like he was that messed up. Like he couldn't even clap.
Players were telling him to get him off before the physios were on. They were saying
he looked out of it walking around, and I think it's a 10-day thing, isn't it? 10 days, so he'll miss Chelsea, the Chelsea game in the week for that not Carabao Cup, Pizza Pot Trophy, whatever you call it, Pizza Pan Trophy. And then obviously he'll miss Carlisle, and obviously Kilgore, who I still can't get over, that was never a second yellow. He's also suspended for 1 game. So it's going to be interesting. And with Hughes, like, obviously I know you've seen Hughes at Walsall. Did he say anything about his injury, or did he not speak?
Yeah, he said at Walsall that he's hopeful of being a week. Well, that's been 2 now, so he might well be available.
So yeah, Hughesy.
I mean, like I said to you when I was speaking to him, I didn't say it to him, but he's a nice fella. He shouldn't be anywhere near our back line though.
Yeah. It's going to be, to be honest, yeah. Like me personally, I don't think, because surely, like, no matter what you do in training or whatever they do in training, because Saturday I thought, and now it's been 10 games now, and he's played the exact same formation each game, apart from even Mansfield he did. He had Anderton, he had Clark left wing back, Luca Hall right wing back, and then he had Anderton, Hughes, and Taylor centre back that game. So yeah, every single game he's played 3 at the back, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he started with 4 at Walsall because he played Luca Hall as a right back, didn't he?
No. What the cup game?
Opening day. What? Sure, he started with a 4 because he played Harry's one side.
What against Mansfield?
Yeah, on the opening day, he played a 4 on the opening day. I'm sure of it.
I'm pretty sure it was 3 because
I thought he played Hull one side, Harry's left back, and centre half with Hughes.
I can't even remember. He's made that many changes. I don't have a clue. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he might have done that because I think he played that Clark a bit more forward, didn't he? Because we only obviously had 1 striker fit.
He might have played 4-5-1. He might have played 5 across the middle.
Yeah, played Saunders up front on his own, wasn't it? But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, let's hope he can sort of give some youngsters a chance. But knowing Barton and the way he hasn't really featured obviously a few in the cup games, but apart from that, he hasn't played. Josh Doige says, if we lose to Carlisle this weekend, would you expect Barton to get the sack? Nope. I mean, to be honest with you, if we're still on bad form, because obviously, like you said, you'd expect, if we finish like 15th or whatever at the end of the season, for him to walk out at the end of the season. But how many games do you give it until either Barton or as we spoke on, do you think he'll wait to the trial or what? Like, if it carries on, we don't, like, we keep winning 1 game every 3 games and we lose 2, like, because it's good. We're gonna end like we're 3 points, right? Everyone's talked about Oldham being the whipping boys and getting battered and their club in turmoil. We're 3 points off them. We're 3 points off the relegation zone. So how long do we give it, or how long does Well give it, or until Barton, or if he walks out, or what? Because
I get the impression the relationship that they've got, Barton and Will, I just get the impression it'll be a joint decision. I think they'll decide between themselves. I don't think it'll be you've got the bullet. I think it'll either be Barton saying, I don't think this is working for anyone. I'll walk. He's openly said he don't want no money. He don't want to be paid up. He'll just go. If the board don't want him there, he'll go. I think it'll be a joint decision if it happens. I don't think it will be Al-Qadi sacking him as a pointing the finger and saying you got to go. This ain't for me.
Yeah,
I just think they're in more dialogue with each other than any other management team have been directly with the owner, because he doesn't look like he goes through Widdrington anymore or anything like that. I think he speaks straight to Al-Qadi, and I think they've got an understanding, or he's buying into what Barton's telling him, saying like, this is where we're at, this is the reasons for it, it will turn, and he's buying it. And I just don't see, like I said, the impression I got up there on Saturday is there is no concern, there is no panic. They're just waiting for it to turn, but there's no sign of it happening.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know how long they're going to be waiting, because out of 28 games, Barton's only won 6 games in the league. So I don't have a clue how many weeks or months they're going to wait, because Carbon Carlisle said, "Would you respect Barton if he resigned when we lose?" No, I wouldn't, because he shouldn't be here anyway. If you're looking at his results anyway. Rockstar Installations Ltd says Barton out. There we go, another Barton out. I'm sure he started with 4 at the back on the opening day. I'm not sure. I don't know, because I remember there was Taylor, there was Hughes, there was Anderton, there was Carries, there was Hall.
Kilgore didn't make the bench, and Taylor was on the bench.
Taylor was on. Right, fair enough. So yeah, it probably was 4. But yeah, that's 1 game out of 10. So, and even that game, it was only because there was players ill or missing everywhere else. Even into Mitch Bresenton as well. Thanks for tuning in. I just want to see a change at least. As for at the back, it ain't working. Yeah, I mean we've gone on about that for weeks, and he hasn't changed it. So will the Swindon game change his mind? I'm not really sure. I'd want it to, as a fan, and fans aren't stupid. We can see, all of us can see it's not working, because obviously, like we said, Hall's fit, but I really don't know. I would really love to see. We can see how well Anderson can strike a ball. He hasn't really had that many chances. He's got a few assists, and I think that was his first goal, playing his wing back. But I think if we can get him more at the pitch, it's only going to improve us and make us better, and make players, when they're playing in their natural position, I mean, surely. But big up to FBL Penguin as well, Oyo Charlie. Big up Penguin. Having a Japanese in front of your stream.
Food, I guess.
Oh, right. Fair enough. Yeah, fair play. Chill watching that. Yeah. I was wondering what I said then. I was a bit too slow then. If we play 10 at the back, we'd still lose. Yeah, probably, the way we defend. But yeah, we're going to quickly get into Carlisle. I don't know how much you've seen of them. Obviously, they're 1 place ahead of us, on the same points as us, and they've actually only won 2 games. 1-2, drew 4, lost 4. In the last 5 games, they've got 4 points. They lost to Forest Green at home on Saturday. The last away game before that, they lost 4-0 to Sutton United away from home. They've also lost to Crawley. They beat Salford. They've got 4 points out of 15. Rovers, 2 wins and 3 losses in our last 5, 6 out of 15. And Carlisle usually play with a 4-3-3 as well. So will Barton play a 4-3-3? I don't really want him to, because we've looked crap when he's played that. When we played a 4-3-3.
When have we looked good?
What's that? Sorry?
When have we looked good? What system we look good?
Yeah. I mean, apart from a few, even the Oldham game, we battered them first half, but second half we just sat back. What other game? Crawley, yeah, we were poor. Got sat back. They, that's true. To be fair, what game have we? There's not been a game apart from maybe and this is going back to last season, and we know how bad that was. The only game or one of the only few games that I thought we were really good in. And that even then, that wasn't for 90 minutes. That was for about 80 minutes. Was the Shrewsbury game when we absolutely played them off the park at home, 2-0 up, and then obviously the last 10 minutes we nearly drew the game. But yeah, I would love to see a 90-minute performance, but I don't know when and if we're going to see that. Tom Butler, evening to you, says, honestly, I think Well is written off the season and given Joey Barton a clean sheet. Well, God. Maybe. Wouldn't be surprised if Whelan became player manager and Barton started himself in midfield. Oh, imagine that. Oh, my God, Whelan. I mean, to be fair, Joey Barton is probably quicker than Whelan. Whelan is so slow. Mike, evening to you as well. Carlisle beat us 2-1 at the start of the season, more down to our poor finishing, but they are definitely beatable. What team do you support, Mike? I can't remember who they beat 2-1. But yeah. I mean, yeah, they are beatable. They've lost 4, but they've drew 4, and they've only won 2 out of 10. But I say only but I mean, it is Rovers at the end of the day. If a team's on poor form, or a team like Swindon hasn't scored more than 2 goals all season, come down to the Mem, could have had 5-6 goals. So yeah. Mitch said I would play Saunders instead of Pittman and Collins by his side. Cheltenham in the Mickey Mouse Cup. Yeah, but even then, Cheltenham had a lot of second string. I mean, so did we, but yeah, I mean, I guess we did play well against them, but only if we could play like that in the league. But yeah, thoughts on Carlisle, and what do you make of them this season? I don't know how much you've seen of them.
I've seen loads of them, but league position would suggest, and the results would suggest they're about as good as us, which don't say much for them, to be honest. You look at their squad. I think the only one that really stands out as having any real pedigree, I suppose, is Zach Clough. I don't think he started last week for him. So
no, he didn't.
Again, there's nothing to fear there, but they'd be saying the same about us, I'd have thought. It's 2 shite sides playing each other, isn't it? It's going to be. I don't expect it to be much to watch, to be honest. I think it'd be a crap game. It'd be too bad. It'd be 2 bad sides playing each other, desperate to not lose rather than desperate to win, I think.
Yeah. Excuse me. Chris says wouldn't be shocked if an own goal, only goal of the game. Yeah. Swindon. They have a few big bruises in their team, if memory serves me right. Yeah, it should be interesting. Yeah, Mitch says send Coots home. Yeah. Yeah, because I was surprised because they didn't. Obviously, Clough. You got Clough. Tristan Abrahams is a good one, but he didn't start either at the weekend. I was surprised at that. Whether they're just haven't been on the best of form or what. And they have got some good players. Callum Guy is another one as well. Really good midfielder. Signed a contract, new contract the other day. But yeah, getting into formations. What are you going for, and what team would you play for this week? And also, Chris, leave your Carlisle lineup in the comments as well. But yeah, what are you going for?
What I'd go for and what I think Barton would go for.
You could do both if you want.
I've got no idea what Barton would go for. It wouldn't surprise me if he plays 3 at the back and he plays Hughes, Anderton, and Harries. It wouldn't shock me one bit if he went with that. I'd go nowhere near it, but it wouldn't surprise me. I don't open anything up at 2:00 and expect to see anything anymore. It's just sometimes it baffles me. I think considering what he's got missing, I think the system sort of probably lends itself to be nailed on for being a 4 in my eyes. Barton probably won't think the same, but to me, I'd go Belly in goal. I'd have Junior Brown at left back, Luca Hall at right back, and I'd play Harries and Martinez as 2 centre halves. I play them in there together.
That's pretty interesting, actually, Martinez, because he's
a centre half by trade, isn't he? He is a centre half by trade.
But I've not seen him centre half playing for Rovers. He's played midfield every game. But yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I'd probably rather have him over Hughes.
And then I'd have midfield 3. I'll just have legs. I'll just fill it with legs. So I put Finlay in there with Hargreaves and Mayhew. Mayhew's got a goal in him. Hargreaves will run all day for you, and it might lend yourself to Finlay to actually getting on the ball rather than having to do a bit of donkey work for Coots and Whelan. And then I play Collins straight through the middle with Anderson and Saunders either side of him. Just think we need legs. We need to stop doing this, get it up to a bloke who's static and trying to play off him. I think we need to start going around corners, getting in behind size, and actually see if Collins can nick something, have something going off his ass or anything, because he's got to get up and running at some point for us.
Yeah, he needs
so I'd play him. I think I'd lose Whelan, I'd lose Coots, I'd lose Pittman, I'd fill it with legs, fill it with energy. I don't expect the game to be pretty. I just want us to actually go in, be able to win the ball back and turn the side round. At Walsall, we turned them round. You turn a League Two side round, they won't really get out from their fullbacks and get up the other end of the pitch. Swindon will, because they're technically brilliant from what I saw on Saturday, but we never turned them round anyway. We just give them the ball back. But this isolating Pittman, trying to ping it up to him from 60 yards. If you can ping a ball to your only centre forward is 60 yards, and make it land on Anki, you ain't playing in League Two. So I don't know why we're trying to do this. So I think we just need to scrap that altogether, and play with a bit of energy, and just fill it with legs and go after Carlisle. And when I say go after him, I don't mean just be aimless about it. I mean actually go and press the ball, because at the minute we play our midfield is sat 5 yards in front of our back line, and we're just inviting sides onto it. And then it's just a waiting game of, you can't expect your back line to be immaculate for 90 minutes. So you can say, we've conceded 3 here, we've conceded 3 there. When we've played Harry's, Kilgore and Taylor, our back 3 don't look bad, but you can't have a constant wave coming at you. Something's going to give eventually.
Exactly.
But they're not available. So I'd go with a 4 because the personnel allows it to be a 4. I'll play Martinez and Harry's as 2 centre halves, like I said, and fill it with legs in front of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Who's unavailable to choose from? Well, that's the thing. Barton, knowing Barton, he's done it for the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's come out, we've got another injury. But of what I can remember and what he said in players, there's no Leon Clark, no Nicholson, no Sion Spence, no Connor Taylor, no Alfie Kilgore. I'm trying to think. There's probably others, but
Thomas.
Yeah, Luke Thomas. No Luke Thomas either. There's a lot of players that still injured. I mean, we might hear something positive. Maybe the wing back Clark. I forget his first name.
Trevor Clark ain't fit yet.
Yeah, Trevor Clark. Yeah. Barton said he'd be fit, but obviously Barton don't have a clue. But yeah, there's plenty of people not fit. There's quite a big injury list at the moment. Daily Rovers 2-1 Rovers. He's gone for his score prediction. Mitch said I'd go classic 4-4-2. Daily Rovers says we need Thomas and Nicholson. Yeah, but unfortunately for us, they're injured. Can't believe Pittman hasn't got a few tap-ins. Well, he got a penalty, and then his first game, everyone was like, it's going to be 40 goals, Brett Pittman. But yeah, the less said, the better. And obviously, he's been injured, sort of thing. Bring some of the youngsters in who played recently. Yeah. Chris says, should have Norman in goal, Miller, Whelan, Denassi, Armour. I think Riley is the ex-Man United Riley, right back. He used to be at Bradford, I think. Callum Guy, Mellish, Gibson, Tristan Abrahams, Clough. That's the lineup I want. Yeah, it'd be interesting because obviously you started Lewis Alessandra last week, didn't you? The ex-Plymouth, Notts County, Hartlepool player, but it'd be interesting to see. Our key midfielders, Callum Guy and John Mellish, recently signed contract extensions. Yeah, I seen that because Callum Guy was linked with Wrexham. But yeah, that's a decent team. It should be interesting. Cameron Mitchell said 4-2-3-1 would be ideal. Bring back Barry Ells and Devon White, I wish. A. Nicholson due back soon. With the way our injuries and Barton says, oh yeah, he's only a few weeks away, then I wouldn't be surprised if it's still a month. He said a month last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. Start Kingsley Murray, the kid is unreal. Yeah, I seen 2 of his goals. They were mad. Yeah, no Josh Grant either, unless he's going to be fit, and Anzi as well.
Said 4 weeks, didn't they, for Grant last week or week before last? So you're still looking at a fortnight, I think.
Yeah, still plenty of time. If we have to play this to the system, which is a 3, you go Belshaw, Hall, Martin. That's a young back line, though, isn't it? And Belshaw, Hall, Martinez, Harries, Anderson, Finley, Coots, Whelan, Brown. Oh, I do not want to. That's the thing. I do not want to see them, but he's obviously going to play them because they're basically his brothers, aren't they? Joey Barton's the oldest brother. Whelan's the middle one. Coots is the younger brother, basically. Chris, I wouldn't be against Clough playing as a lone striker for us, who will try to do something in attack for us. Yeah. Start Mo Lester. Who's Mo Lester? Oh, you fucker. He just got me then. He's just got me as well. Oh, no. He's going to clip that as well. Fuck. I can't believe I just fell for that one. Oh, my God. I feel like such a twat. He's just got me there. Oh, my God. Our team is best with playing to feet, but we don't do that. We bloody hoof the ball to Clough. Yeah, he's like 5'4", and yeah. But yeah, I don't know. If I was going with the lineup, I would want to play. I'd go Belshaw keeper, Luca Hall right back, Junior Brown left back, 2 centre backs would be. I don't know. I'd to be honest with you, I'd probably play Hughes, even though I don't want to, but I'd rather play Martinez in midfield. So Hughes and Harries, and then I would go with a midfield 2 of Martinez and Hargreaves. I do not want to see any Coots or Whelan anywhere near the team. And then I would go for a 4-2-3-1. I'd go with Collins up front, Evans as a cam, and then I would play Saunders on the left, Anderson on the right. That would be my team. Matt says ideally 4-2-1-3. Belshaw, Hall, Martinez, Harris, Brown, Coots, Whelan, Finley. Oh well, I forgot Finley. Jesus Christ! I'd play Finley ahead of Hargreaves. So Finley. Come on, what's going on? There we go. I'll do a 4-2-3-1. Belshaw, Hall, Martinez, Harries, Anderson, Anderton, Coots, Finley, Anderson, Evans, Saunders, Pittman. I'm stuck with picking either Martinez or Hughes. Don't read too much into under 20. What's that? We won 5-1, by the way, Ned. We didn't lose 5-1. We won 5-1. We fielded it under 18 side. I'd pick Hughes instead of Martinez. If Rod McDonald plays centre back, you will have a. Isn't that the one that used to play for Northampton and Coventry? I'm pretty sure it is. I just want to see a team turn up and want to push and cause problems, like Neil said. Yeah, but that's the thing. Most of it is Barton's tactics and the personnel he plays. If he played a more attacking team, we would attack more, but he doesn't. That's the problem. When you're playing Paul Coots and Whelan as your 2 midfielders who don't pass forward, you've got no chance really. Yeah, don't read too much. Forest Green played under 18 and we played. Yeah, but even us, we basically had an under 18 team. Most of them were under 18. We had a 16-year-old will come off the bench that what's his name? I can't remember his name now. But yeah, we had a pretty young team. Big up to Miss Melina as well. Go and subscribe to her channel. I hope you're doing well. But the team that I think Barton will play would probably be like what you said. It'd probably stick with 3 at the back. It'd go with his mate Hughes. It'd have Anderton, Harries, Junior Brown. I think he would play Luca Hall right wing back.
But where do you play Hughes and Anderton? Because they're both lefties. So that means if you're relying on Anderton to be the centre of your defence, then we're in all sorts of trouble because he is a car crash at the best of times.
Yeah, but who else? Yeah, but
that's what I mean. A free does not allow itself to the personnel you've got available. You just can't do it. If he goes with that, then if I look at that at 2:00, I'll lump on us to get beat.
Yeah. To be fair, I mean, yeah. You got Hughes. Well, Hughes is right-footed, but Harries and Anderson are left.
But you can't isolate him out wide. He has to. If you're going to play Hughes, he's got to play slap bang in the middle of it. You can't get him isolated one-on-one, else he just gets run.
Yeah, I mean, well, if it was Barton, then surely he would have. Well, I'd say surely he would probably have to go for the back then and probably play Hughes, Harries, Brown, Hall. To be honest, I think if Barton chooses a team, I reckon he might match up Carlisle, but I don't want him to do that because with 3 mid, depends who he's going to play in midfield. You more than likely it's going to be Finley, Whelan, and Coots, and then the front 3. You would have to play 2 natural wingers, which would be Saunders and Anderson, and then striker Pittman. And then on the bench, Evans. That's the thing. There ain't really much on the bench then either. That's
Collins on the bench, isn't he?
Yeah, Collins. Maybe
if he goes with it.
Phillips on there. But yeah. Mike Emright, I think you'll get a win Saturday despite Mr. Barton's best efforts to cock it up. Good luck. Yeah, appreciate the luck. We're going to need it. So literally could be any scoreline. Haven't got much hope though. But yeah, we're going to get into score predictions now, actually. Obviously, hit the like button and get your predictions in now as well if you haven't already. But yeah, Neil, what are you going for? What are you going for?
I think it'll be an absolutely dire game. I think it'll be terrible. I think it'll show it's 2 crap sides playing each other, desperate not to get beat, and I think it'll be 0-0.
That's fair enough. What do I go for? I'm definitely not going for a win, especially after seeing maybe if he plays 4 at the back, we might win. But I think Barton will try his hardest to play his 3 at the back. I really don't know. I think if he plays 4 at the back, I'm gonna go for a 1-0 win. If he plays 3 at the back, I think we'll lose 2-1. Because, like you said, centre backs, you're gonna have. There's literally only 3 options, unless I don't think he'll chuck Martinez centre back. It'll be like the Hughes, the Andertons, and whatever. But we'll see. Maybe we've got some players coming back. I don't know. But yeah, I'll just go for that.
If we do nick a 1-0, you still Barton out, yeah?
Yeah, I'm still Barton out.
Just checking.
Because we've got who have we got coming up? Can't see us getting. I know people say, "Oh, don't look to," but if you look at our games coming up, forget the Chelsea game in the week. We got Bradford away. I think we'll get battered. Our record there is shocking, and And Bradford, I can't, but we'll see. I don't usually. I'm positive. Like everyone's probably seen my predictions. I predicted us to win the league for God's sake, but now I'm looking stupid, and we've been on such rubbish form. Then I can't really see anything. I try and be positive when I can, but it's hard to be when.
If you could bring Flynn in though, Charlie, if you could bring Flynn in, he's still got to work with what he's got. And if you don't rate what we've got, he's still got a team full of players that ain't doing what they're meant to be doing or achieving what they should be achieving. You can't make Pittman get any faster. You can't make him get any fitter. You know what I mean? You could have Pep in charge of him. Pittman is going to be Pittman.
Yeah.
Some of these players, they just are what they are. And unfortunately, we're lumbered with them. No matter who comes in and takes charge of this side, if Barton goes, we're lumbered with what we've got. And that's the biggest problem. Like, no one's going to flick a switch and get these players playing any. Like, they're not going to make them any quicker. You ain't going to make Paul Coots turn into a 10. You ain't going to make Whelan. You ain't going to make Whelan, turn into Kante. If they are what they are. Yeah. That's the biggest problem. Yeah, he's just massively underestimated League Two, I think. He's massively underestimated League Two. And whatever happens, who sits in that dugout, that's what they got to work with.
Yeah. Yeah. Until at least January. And then even then,
what's available in January? Everyone's after something. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's the thing. Matt says I was saying 0-0 for a while, but I'm getting tempted to break a 1-0 win. Mike Wright is going 1-0 win for Rovers. I hope so, but I mean, I said we'd get a clean sheet against Swindon and win 2-0. I got that completely wrong. BRFC Tom says piss easy win. We'll batter them 5-1. Love the optimism. Mitch saying sorry to say 2-0 Carlisle. Big up to Shah as well. Go and subscribe to her channel. She's a Chelsea fan and she's also Barton out. Who I'm not surprised. Adam the Great says we're severely lacking a mobile number 9. Exactly. Even Collins is mainly a cam. And exactly like you said, Neil, we need to get him off the school. I think if we can get him going, he can be a really good player for us. And actually start games because he hasn't really started many, has he? Chris says
he's looked a bit out of sorts, so isn't he? Like whenever you see him, he don't look like he. Again, I talk about players looking frustrated and confused. Anderson's the worst for it. Anderson looks like he's absolutely ready to blow a gasket. He looks fuming. But
it's because he's not a wing back.
Yeah, everyone knows why. Everyone knows why it is. But with Collins, I don't know if he likes or knows the instructions that Barton's giving him, because he just doesn't look like he believes in what he's doing at the minute. Yeah. When you see him play.
I mean, to be fair, I'd be the same as well. If I'm a winger, or right mid, and someone's playing me as a wing back, and because teams aren't stupid. They know Anderson's a good winger, but he can't defend. So they're always mainly going down, and obviously you got Junior Brown on the other, who hasn't been too bad, but even him, you can't rely on him. Like he's 32, 33. He's been on the decline for 2 or 3 years. He was awful at Scunthorpe last year, and
he might look like Marcelo, but he ain't.
Yeah. To be saying that, I when I was in the platform, I was stood like in sort of just off to the middle where that green sign is, and there was some fan, I don't know his name, but he was like, he was saying exactly the same. He was like, God, I didn't realize we got Marcelo left back. I was like, yeah, I wish it was Marcelo. God, I think 1-1 draw. Not confident with this either. We seem to be as bad as each other. Yeah. Exactly. Looking forward to seeing Trevor Clark. Yeah, he's only played half an hour of football, and then he got his injury. He's been out for ages. Been out since.
Well, no one knows how good he is yet, because it's a bit like Luke Thomas. Everyone's screaming about how good he is. We don't know yet because we ain't seen the best of him. We just don't know how good he's going to be. We're heavily reliant on Nicholson. We get him back, and we've actually got some form of threat because he's proven what he is and what he can do. Trevor Clark, I think. You get Trevor Clark in the side, at least it's not square pegs around odds. You can play a free knowing that you've got a left wing back to play wing back.
Yeah.
How good he'll be, you'll never know. This injury might set him back. You know, he just might not get going this season, might be inconsistent, but
yeah,
you know what I mean? You've got a left wing back in your side though.
Yeah. Because that's the thing as well. He can play. He can play. He can literally play anywhere. I've seen him. I've seen his. You know, when we got him, I've seen his highlight reels, and he can play as a winger. He can play as a left mid. He scored some cracking goals when he was in. He actually played in. You know, in the qualifying rounds in the Europa League against. I can't remember. It was some top class, well, pretty good European. It might have been Milan or someone like that, or maybe in the qualifying rounds he played. So I think he actually played in the Europa League. But yeah, we will see.
He must be delighted to be where he is now. Then,
yeah, he's buzzing to be in League Two. Collins not a loss to Forest Green. Unfortunately, I live local to Forest Green. Dreading the 27th. Is that one we've got? Forest Green. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, not looking forward to that. I don't want our manager out. I want Carlisle Honours out for having no ambition. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. But yeah, we're going to end it here. Thanks everyone for tuning in. It's been a good stream. Plenty of people watching in as well and getting involved. As always, hit the like button if you haven't already. Let's try and get to 40 likes. And yeah, subscribe if you're new as well, or if you're just tuning into the channel, feel free to share. Follow Neil on Twitter and me, or if you want, you don't have to. But yeah, thanks for the support as always. One more comment quickly. Tom Butler said, "I'd snap your hand off for a draw right now. Not another defeat, please." As I'm taking my little girl. Yeah, I remember you saying that yesterday. Yeah. I hope we can get a good result for her and for just everyone, just to get even a draw. I wouldn't be surprised. You know, Carlisle love draws. Rovers have only had one draw, but like we've talked about, this is a game where it just screams like 0-0 or 1-1 or 2, like, you know, a crappy game between two sides on crap form. But yeah, all the best for the weekend and the rest of the season, says Chris. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll be back on Saturday for match reaction. I'll try and get a vlog out this time as well. Let's hope it's a decent result and hopefully not a 0-0. Let's try and nick a 1-0 win. I don't care how we do. But yeah, we'll see you on the next preview next Wednesday at 7 p.m. And yeah, up the gas.